Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again was written and directed by Ol Parker, which is a change up from the first film, which was directed by Felita Lloyd. She has a background in musical theatre, which is why the first film probably worked, because it was actually a stage show first and then adapted into a movie. I'm not a die-hard fan of the first film. I did enjoy it quite a lot. The characters are very likeable. It's a warm fuzzy kind of film, even if there is some very, very questionable singing.
Neither you nor I'm to blame when all is said and done.
Yikes. Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again, however, is a mostly enjoyable train wreck of a film. It's as if the train was carrying a whole bunch of fireworks, so when it crashed, all the fireworks went off. So on the one hand, you're like, oh no, how terrible, there's been this horrendous locomotive disaster. But then on the other hand, you're like, well, this is actually kind of enjoyable. Analogy Queen! The film switches between present day, with Amanda Seyfried's character Sophie preparing for the grand reopening of her late mother's hotel, and flashbacks to 1979, where a young Donna embarks on her adventure to live in Greece, and her initial encounters with Sophie's three potential fathers. In the first film, Donna was played by Meryl Streep, and here young Donna is played by Lily James, who looks nothing like Meryl Streep. In fact, she even has a different eye colour. That's not the biggest flaw in this movie by a long shot, but we'll get to that in a moment. The first act of this movie was a real struggle for me. A good musical, either stage or movie, will have a really strong opening and closing number. The opening number in this movie is When I Kiss the Teacher, which is a really bizarre choice, not only because it is nowhere near the hit that Dancing Queen or Mamma Mia were, but also in 2018, a song about a student kissing a teacher against his will kind of feels a little bit tone deaf. Also, in this film, Donna supposedly graduated from Cambridge. I did start enjoying this movie from about the halfway point though. When young Donna meets young Bill, there's a really sweet song and dance number on his boat. The casting of the young counterparts is actually pretty impressive. With the exception of Donna, they look pretty spot on to their older equivalents. The young Tanya in particular is a dead ringer for the older version. They even gave her the same haircut and the same red lipstick, as if there's no way that she changed her look in like 25 years. And speaking of people that haven't aged for 25 years, let's talk about Cher. So don't get me wrong, I love Cher. I love her ridiculous wigs and her penchant for sequins and drama, and when she sings Fernando with Andy Garcia, it is an amazing moment. The issue is Cher just feels like Cher in this movie. She's not really a character, she kind of just appears out of nowhere, and because she is definitely a fan of the Botox needle, she actually looks younger than Meryl Streep. It's a bit weird. The actual storyline of this film is a complete mess. There are so many inconsistencies between this story and the one that we were told in the first film. Donna meeting the men and her encounter with each of them is completely different to what happens in Mamma Mia 1. Young Donna is supposed to come across as this beautiful, free spirit. However, multiple times throughout this movie, she would do something and I'd be like, no, that's irresponsible, really. Like when she arrives on the island for the first time, she finds this abandoned house and she's walking around the house, kind of checking things out, and the house is falling apart. The window falls out of its frame and the staircase kind of implodes as she goes down it. Look, I'm no builder, but like that is definitely either termites or wood rot, right? Which would explain why no one lives there. It's probably been condemned. It might even be on the demolition list. And yet young Donna continues to live there, and as we know from the first film, eventually she becomes the owner of that property because apparently Greece has no real estate law, and if you live somewhere long enough, you get to own it. Or something. Present day isn't much better. It's supposed to be set in the early 2000s, however Sophie has a modern day iPad and iPhone. She's inherited the hotel now because she lived there a while and that's how it works. There's 3 very large photos of young Donna on the wall, and even though these photos were taken in the late 70s on some sort of old school 70s camera, they have perfect clarity. Given how this film quite clearly doesn't understand how time works, I wouldn't have actually been surprised if young Sam had like whipped out a Samsung Galaxy Note to take those photos. Okay, so to call back to earlier in this review when I likened this movie to a train full of fireworks, the ending of this film goes out with a bang. Analogy queen! There's a really sweet and quite emotional scene with Sophie christening her baby, but the highlight of this film by far is the song and dance number that happens during the credits scene. And not because it signals that this film is over, but because it's a really fun moment and embodies some of the spirit that the original film had. All the young and present day versions of the characters come together to sing Super Troopers, and they're dressed in these really snazzy kind of 70s disco outfits. And also Pierce Brosnan is rocking the dad bod, and that's cool. All in all, was this a terrible movie? Yeah, it was. But did I have fun watching it? Yeah, I kinda did. I'm going to give Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again a 6.9 out of 10. What did you guys think of Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again? Pop your comments in the comment section below. If you liked this video, don't forget to subscribe and head over to my channel to check out a whole bunch of other reviews that I've done. Thank you as always for watching. I'll see you guys here for the next one.